Hello YouTube and welcome to another review by myself, Damien Lemaitre. Today is a joint review on two diesel engines. I decided to do these two diesel engines. Obviously they're not twins, but I felt that there wasn't a great deal to talk about on it, either of them, so I decided to put them both together in a review. So here we have Bachmann Mavis and Bachmann Salty. Both fantastic models, as you can probably tell. Hardly anything to fault on them. We'll start off with Mavis first of all. Mavis, you know, was introduced in Series 3 and she's been in every series since. She's been in nearly every single special. So there's been some specials recently she's not been in, but she's been in some of the specials. So yeah, some of the specials. So she's really detailed and her face resembles the Series 6 face that she used. So her happy face from Series 6 till about Series 11. After that, obviously, the show became CGI, so it wasn't used again. Mavis is a fantastic model. You see, she's got writing on her side, and it's in the right font, unlike the number 3 on the Henry tender, as we discussed a few reviews ago. She's also got these lamp irons. She's got 3 on the front. And then she's obviously got one roof, so 4 on the front, so 3 there, 1 there. And if we turn to the back, she's got another 3. She's got another 4, sorry. So 1, 2, 3, and then there's a 4th one there. The 4th one there, I don't actually ever remember in the television series, but it wasn't there, I remember. But it's a very nice ad overall. There is one issue with the lamp irons though. I don't know if you can tell, but they are slightly wonky. And I think that one in particular, the one at the front there in particular, is quite wonky. The holder still, you can see it's a bit wonky. There's some more at the back. Again, they're a tiny bit wonky, you might be able to tell. If you've got a Bachmann Mavis, it'd be great to hear from you and see if yours are actually wonky as well. But like I said, that was a bit of a disappointment. But for me, that was the only disappointment of the model. What I also like about Mavis is that the real Mavis had handrails, and she does, but they're mounted on, so they're not too delicate. But like I said, you've got these lamp irons that are very delicate. And every time I take her out of the box, it does worry me because of, like I said, how delicate they are. Move on to Salty now. Salty is another really good model. He looks exactly like his television series counterpart in both the CGI series and the model series before. The only thing that is different about Salty is that he's not weathered, because as you remember on the TV series, Salty was quite heavily weathered. But I don't think that's an issue. I'm not a fan of weathering, so it's quite nice just to have, like I said, just to have engines that aren't weathered. And I think if you have one engine weathered, they all have to be weathered. So that's quite nice. Another thing about Salty is I don't know what to make of his buffers. In the model series, his buffers were bronze. This has also been on his Trackmaster range items. And here, Salty has black buffers. However, this is not the only model to have black buffers, as the Ertl Salty also has black buffers. One thing that I have also noticed, now I've put them next to each other, is that Salty's exhaust is in the middle more of it on his Ertl model, where it's more to the left, to his right hand side, so our left. Another thing about Salty is his windows. From what I remember in the television series, his windows are a bit darker, and they've gone for more of a bright silver, which doesn't look quite right to me. I think the Ertl model's got it better with the black windows. You can understand why Mavis doesn't have black windows, because obviously she's painted black, and there wouldn't be any windows at all if they were painted black. so you can understand why they're more silver on Mavis. But I think the silver's just a bit too much on the Bachmann Salty model. Salty doesn't have lamp irons like Mavis. He has these other things, but they're quite fragile. Like Mavis, the handrails on the side are mounted on, so again it's not too fragile. But when taking them in and out of the box, it does worry me, because like I said, you've got these other bits that are a bit fragile. Also recently, you may remember me telling you in the I think it was the Bachmann Bakerloo video, Salty's buffer recently got broken. Anyway, the thing is that we managed to get him fixed now. Another thing that both Mavis and Salty are missing, and this isn't just on the back model, this is the TV series models, they both had crankshafts like Dennis, which is the red thing behind his wheels at the back that moves around as he moves. Both Salty and Mavis's bases actually had these. When watching Mavis's debut episode, Mavis, you can see when her wheels are spinning helplessly, you can see something red moving around, which could possibly be a crankshaft. But having cowl catchers and side plates, we can't see underneath Mavis. We can, however, look at this model. In the television series, I often thought it looked like she had side rods. As you can see here, she just has six wheels that don't have side rods. Again, quite small, not as small as the Bachmann Bakerloos. The front wheels and the back wheel was both powered, and these are bogey wheels. There's no power to them, and there's no traction tyres. Another thing that's a bit of a letdown on both the Mavis and Salty is like Bill and Ben. There's a great big hole in the so you see where the coupling, it's left to accommodate the coupling, and if you wanted to change the size of your couplings, you'd have a great big hole. So that's on Mavis, and then it's the same on Salty. And this is, of course, isn't just on the front of the models; it is behind them as well. I'll show you. So yeah, if you did want to change your coupling sizes, there would be a bit of a hole, unfortunately. But I don't think that is a huge issue. Packaging is the next issue that I'd like to move on to. Like Bill and Ben, I don't think the packaging is that fantastic for Bachmann. Like I said, you have to practically, unfortunately, destroy the box. And and all it leaves you with are these plastic cases to take on and off. So that's how. So again, that's how I cut around them. Like I said, when storing them, if you haven't got your rowel out and you can't just leave them out, you can't. I don't always feel that's safe the way they are, and the plastic's quite fragile. And obviously, if they were to get very knocked, something, the plastic could bend and then obviously damage Mavis's lamp iron quite a lot. I mean, maybe that was how it was damaged when I brought it. I don't know. That's slightly wonky, and it'd be better if the lamp irons were a bit more stable on Mavis. Something that is good though is that they come with instructions, and this is Salty's one. So they both come with instructions, something that Bakerloo didn't. Salty and Mavis are both fantastic runners, and I don't think you'll be disappointed. They both have moving eyes, better than the Bachmann Bakerloos, as again you cannot see between the gaps. I got Salty in September last year at the Rusden Model Weekend, where as you may remember, I got Bill and Ben, and Mavis I got this year at the Northampton Model Show. Both times I got them from the online shop, Tootley Thomas. Tootley Thomas, as I said, are online, but they tour a lot of railway shows, and I know the owners quite well now. So I see them at lots of shows, and I said I've got Donald and Douglas from them as well, and Toby, and Henrietta, which we will move on to another time. To conclude, Salty and Mavis are both fantastic models. I think it's fair to say you can give each of them 10 out of 10. When doing the reviews, I don't take into account the packaging. It is, of course, sheerly on the model itself, and I don't think you will be disappointed. Like I said, there was one or two pros and cons that I pointed out. but I think 10 out of 10 is fair for both these engines. They're both captured beautifully. They're not actually made in the Hornby range. I mean, Hornby's discontinued now anyway, but Hornby never made them. But I'm sure they could have found the tooling to have made them in the first place, but so they haven't. And I think if Hornby were to make these two, they'd have quite a lot of shoes to fill, is all I can say. I said both engines have been captured beautifully, so 10 out of 10 all round. And next time we will be reviewing Salty and Mavis, two of my favourite diesel engines. As I said before, I have got a lot of favourite engines, but I've got 4 favourite diesels. They are, of course, Mavis, Salty, Rusty and Daisy. And Rusty and Daisy, unfortunately, aren't made in the range. Next time we'll be looking at another steam engine who's probably more reliable than 2 diesels put together, and that is Hornby Edward. Until next time, goodbye and thanks for watching.